Okay, so on the chapter 1 sort of chapter review assignment, this question number 4 gave everyone a little bit of trouble. And it said this, Gary is making a temporary ramp from the ground to the top of his patio so that he can roll a cart up to move furniture in. All right, as I've mentioned before, it's a really, really great idea to make sure you draw a diagram, right? So here's his patio, and the surface of the patio is 3 feet 9 inches above the ground. So let's just write it like this: 3 feet 9 inches. We'll figure that out maybe in inches a little bit later. But he's trying to build a ramp like this so that he can roll a dolly or something up to carry furniture up there. Okay, temporary ramp. So Gary wants the ramp to have a slope of no more than 0.375. So look at that. M is 0.375. So write down what you're given, highlight what you're given, whatever you want to do in your books there, and draw a picture, draw a little sketch. That'll really help. So it's asking now, that's all the information we have, it's asking what's the shortest horizontal distance he can have from the base of the patio, that's right here, to the base of the ramp, right here. Okay? So basically they're looking for, what's this right here? What's the run, right? Now, one thing that you have to notice here is this 3 foot 9 inches. We've kind of got a mixed up unit. Let's have one number with one unit there. So I would suggest we move this into inches, okay? Because then we have one number and we'll just do it in inches, I think. So if you envision this 3 feet 9 inches, 1, 2, 3, and then 9 inches. So each foot is 12 inches. See that? So there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So that's the length that we have. That's the height of the patio there, whatever. So how many inches is that? 36 plus 9 is 45. Okay. So that's how many inches this is. So let's not use this unit. Let's just use 45 inches. Okay. Now you could turn that into feet if you wanted it, right? 9 over 12 is what? 3/4. So that would be 3.75 feet if you wanted to do that way. Whichever's easiest. Doesn't matter to me. So what's the shortest distance? Okay, so we want the run. So the slope, remember, equals rise over run. And the rise, we said, was 45 inches. Okay, and the run is, we don't know. The slope is given as 0.375. So I'll tell you what, we're just going to kind of, here's our formula. This is the equation we're going to focus on here. Okay, right here. So why don't you go ahead and solve for x there. Now that we got that set up, solve for x. How would we solve for x? Go ahead and do that. Take a second. Okay, so this is what you should have come up with here. X is 120 inches, or x is 10 feet. If you used feet, if you want to convert that to feet. Okay, so this is 10 feet or 120 inches out from the patio. You'd have to put this ramp at least. Okay, that's A. You guys understand A now? Any questions about A? Do we need units, guys, on our answers?
Oh, yeah.
We sure do. Yep. And like I say, there's 2 possible answers here. Probably more, but these are the 2 ones that you might come up with. And if you get either one of those, it'd be great. Okay, so what's the shortest length of the surface? So again, nobody got this. I think you guys were immediately going to either the angle here or I'm not sure what was happening here, but the shortest length of the surface of the ramp. So that's this, guys. That's this right here. Right? The ramp surface. So if we're looking at this situation, what is the ramp in this situation? What is it called? What's another name for the ramp? Hypotenuse. Very good. So you guys see that, don't you? It's a right triangle. Here's the patio here. Here's the ramp. So this is the hypotenuse. So we need to use Pythagoras Theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so use the information in A and take a minute to solve that. Go ahead.
Good unit, please call teacher 0.
All right, so when we use Pythagoras' theorem, okay, the legs of the triangle are the sides that are not the hypotenuse. So it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You should get 45 squared plus 120 squared on the one side, which should equal this, 16,425. And then how do we get from c squared to c? We take the, what's this called? What's that sign called? You might remember? Square root sign. Yeah, so we take the square root, and you should get 128.16 or so. And that's about 10 foot 6 inches. Maybe 7 if you round up. Okay? Understand that now? Okay. So finally, in 4 here, we're asking for the angle of elevation of the ramp. So we're looking for this angle right here. So what do we have? We have a right triangle situation with the ramp as the hypotenuse. I know that this is 45 inches. I know that this is 120 inches. And I'm looking for this angle. So how does this angle relate to the opposite side here and this side down here, the rise over run? What's this? Tan of what? Of this angle equals what? What did we say it equaled? Yeah, opposite over adjacent for tan, or rise over run. Okay, so take a moment and see if you remember how to get that angle. All right, so your answer should look something like this. Please show your steps. And it is the angle that equals 20.6 degrees. It's not the tan that equals 20.6 degrees. It's the actual angle there. Okay? So that is question number 4. And you need to be able to know how to do question number 4. That's like a little bit of everything. That's almost all of chapter 1 is right in there, in that one question. So that's really, really important. Do you guys have any questions before we move on? Questions about this one?